Pleased to see you again. It's the final assignment. The subject is: what do you think is the biggest concern for this planet? When you ask people what is the most important problem, the answer is climate change. It is not as simple as there are people who don't believe it. Let's get to the point. Let's see first the climate change, then the most famous president who doesn't believe in climate change, and finally, briefly, the effect and the future. First, climate change. You might have noticed that the weather's been hotter than usual. Or you might have noticed a drought in your area or unusual storms. Furthermore, even small temperature changes are causing crops to die, decreasing the amount of food available. On top of all that, higher temps are causing the polar ice caps to melt, flooding certain areas and leading to an imbalance for wildlife. Let me show you some graphs. The graph on this chart shows changes over the past 1,000 years. The bottom graph shows carbon emissions. The beige band shows emissions due to change in land use, such as deforestation to create agricultural land, and the pink band shows fossil fuel emissions. Fossil fuel emissions have increased dramatically since the Industrial Revolution. The middle beige graph shows increasing atmospheric CO2 concentration in response to increasing carbon emissions. The pink line shows that although there has been variability, global average surface temperature has paralleled CO2 concentration for the past 1,000 years. Given that records show that climate is changing, the next question is the degree to which human activities are responsible. The top figure shows global mean surface temperature anomalies relative to the period 1901 to 1950, as observed, black line, and from models that included anthropogenic and natural forcings. The thick red curve shows the means from the model, and the thin lighter red curves show the individual model results. Vertical gray lines indicate the timing of major volcanic events. The bottom figure shows global mean surface temperature anomalies relative to the period 1901 to 1950, as observed, black line, and from models that included only natural forcings. The thick blue curve shows the means from the models, and the thin lighter blue curves show individual model results. What happens with America? Throughout the US 2016 election campaign, then candidate Trump remained ambiguous about his views on the scientific consensus that human activity has contributed to the warming of the planet. Nobody really knows, he said in a Fox News interview. Look, I'm somebody that gets it, and nobody really knows. It's not something that's so hard and fast. Now, Trump is president and he has pulled the country out of the Paris Climate Agreement. This action places the US alongside Syria and Nicaragua as the only countries to reject the deal. Trump's political calculus on this issue can be understood in the context of public opinion. Though fully half of US adults now believe the planet is warming mostly due to human activity. Well, will climate change happen? Do people who wonder when the effect of climate change will begin to emerge? The answer is that it's already happening. What is new over the last decade is that we know with increasing certainty that climate change is happening now. Droughts and rising temperatures connected to climate change left more than 36 million people facing hunger across southern and eastern Africa last year. So we are in crisis, all right, that is true. Next, what does climate change mean for the future? Left unchecked, climate change will bring new extremes to life both in America and across the globe. Sea levels will continue to rise, ecosystems will disappear, climate displacement will become more common. Scientists who testified at a US Senate hearing in 2013 warned climate change could wipe out places like New Orleans, Atlantic City, New Jersey. This roundup from the US government analysis shows the regional change that is already underway across America. Oh, time is over. I will sum up. So we know the threat is real, but what can we do to prevent climate change from being exacerbated even more? Some small steps you can take in your own life are to use less electricity by turning off your lights when you don't need them, driving less, switching to LED bulbs, and eating less meat. On a more global scale, leaders should go back to the Paris Agreement and, along with the rest of the world, work towards as a greener planet. Thank you. It's finished.